Good morning and welcome to After GMS. We are live here on the News 2 Facebook page as some of you tune in to our show we do every weekday morning at 7:45. I'm Megan Maleris alongside Terrain Kirksey, Ed Matthews, and Stacy Spivey.
Well, if that circus music didn't wake you up, then I think hearing about all the wonderful weather heading our way definitely will.
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone's going to enjoy the 7-day forecast. Well, maybe not everybody, but if you like warm weather, you'll enjoy it. So there you go. There's the 7-day forecast for you. Temperatures today making it into the low 80s. We're in the mid 80s on Thursday, and then upper 80s to low 90s through the weekend on into early next week. As far as our rain chances, overall, it looks like we'll have a less than 20% chance of rain on each day. So generally dry, but as you get towards like day 5, 6, 7 there, so Sunday through Tuesday, the forecast uncertainty for the rain chances goes up a little bit. We'll have to see if this high pressure weakens a little bit on the eastern fringe, and that might allow a couple of showers to develop and then kind of track our way from Virginia kind of backwards from the northeast to the southwest. But we'll watch for that. As of right now, though, I think we're going to keep things mainly dry. Anything changes, we will let you know.
And let's go ahead and get to our first conversation this morning. If you've received the vaccine, you know how large and inconveniently sized the proof of the vaccination cards are. It's kind of difficult to make them fit in a wallet without, creasing it. And a doctor in Colorado came up with a solution: wristbands. Our question for you is, do you think wearing vaccine wristbands would be helpful, or is it just something else that you would maybe lose? You can go ahead and share your thoughts in the comment section. But Dr. Burnton came up with what he's calling the Immuniband. And here's how it works. There's a QR code that's on the wristband. So you put your phone over it. That code leads you to a pin-protected site to show documentation of your COVID-19 vaccine. This way you don't have to carry your card with you wherever you go. And these are now actually being sold all across the U.S. for about $20 to $25. Part of the profits will be donated to COVID-19 recovery efforts. So if you needed to prove your vaccine status, would you wear one of these wristbands, or is it just something else you would lose? I really do think that this is a great idea. Reading some of the comments from Facebook, though, I was surprised that a lot of people said they'd much rather have just the card to carry around. But I think that having a wristband would be something easy. You wouldn't have to think twice about it. It would just already be there. Has the QR code, and some of them have your name on it, and then you can just put it up to a phone and it's right there on your phone as proof. And the people that were working on this specific tool said that they make sure that the website is encrypted and safe for use and does not violate any HIPAA laws as well.
There's a lot to this, I think, and as you said earlier, Stacey, this is not currently under consideration anywhere in North Carolina, at least not on a large scale. So this is just an idea at this point. I do think there is this desire, as we've heard from some of you in previous discussions about this topic in general, there is this desire to make people aware in some cases that you are vaccinated. We've heard of people saying they've followed the rules for the past 14 months and then all of a sudden the mask mandate was dropped. They've been vaccinated, but they feel weird or even guilty taking it off because they don't want to get side-eyed by somebody who doesn't know they're vaccinated. So in those cases, maybe some kind of a tangible identification, if you choose to wear it, could be an option. But I can certainly understand the hesitancy of A, having that be required, and B, the whole privacy aspect of scanning a QR code on a bracelet. I don't know. I'm a little leery about that.
Yeah, it can certainly kind of go down a slippery slope, in my opinion, doing all that. I think there needs to be some, and this again, just my opinion, just a guy. If you don't like it, you email me angry things to me. I'm fine with that. It really won't bother me, I promise. I think there needs to be a little more clarity from the experts as to the risk that you have personally in not only getting COVID, but transmitting it to someone else after you are fully vaccinated. Because I think there becomes a point where, okay, people are going to make a decision whether or not they want to get the vaccine. And if I've done what I believe I need to do to keep myself and my family safe and maybe lower the threat to other people, do we really need to take the extra step of knowing whether other folks are vaccinated. Now, I will add that there is the caveat that since this hasn't been approved for smaller children, that's when it might be helpful to know if other folks have been vaccinated. And I do want to just really say this is a very complex issue. You know, I like to look at things from many different sides, and I can see kind of at least 3 or 4 different arguments for or against this for sure. So that's just my opinion. I know it was a really muddled opinion, and I really didn't say anything directly about a specific opinion, but I think the point is this is very complicated, and it's something that, you know, needs to be thought about and not just, you know, a bunch of angry yelling on the internet one way or another about it. But as far as for me personally, I don't know if I would be comfortable wearing a bracelet, but I certainly can see if you would, and I can see if you wouldn't.
I thought that was very eloquently stated, Taran, and you bring up a good point. I think in so many instances in this pandemic, people have seen only what they want to see and have been angry at other people for believing something else. And there are a lot of factors at play here, and a lot we're still learning about this virus and the vaccines. And so we respect is key, I think, as we continue to learn more about this.
100%. And sorry, Ed, I know I'm running my mouth. I'll let you,
we got plenty of time.
I'll let you have it in just a second, but I want to add one more thing. Going back to the respect mindset, and this is kind of a microcosm probably of society, that we have to understand everybody has a different worldview. Even people that are close to you have a different life experience than you do. My wife has a different set of life experiences than I do, and my mom and dad have a different set of life experiences as well. So everyone's going to look at something either just a little bit different or a lot different. And there doesn't need to be a whole bunch of yelling at each other on the internet. And that's just, again, my 2 cents. And I'm done with that. All right, so Ed, you know, what do you think, man?
I like that sermon, Reverend. I really do. I thought it was great. You brought some good points. Now, for me, let me give you the direct approach, okay? For me, I could care less about it. I don't like it. I don't want to wear. Look, this is what I got on my wrist. I got my watch. That's what goes there for you ladies, maybe a bracelet or something like that. But I'm trying to look at both sides. Now, you know, from one standpoint, it's very convenient to put on a bracelet, but is it going to open the door for many bracelets about many viruses and many diseases? I've had a hip replacement. Have I got to wear a bracelet? And I'm being kind of silly there, but I personally, and this is my personal opinion, wouldn't wear it, not going to pay $25 for it, don't care anything about it. There you go.
Yeah, Stacy, somebody brought up the point earlier, I believe in one of the comments, comparing this to the flu shot. You know, you don't wear anything noting that you got the flu vaccine or didn't have it. And it seems a lot of our viewers are expressing similar sentiments right now on our live feed.
Yeah, there are a lot of comments on here. Be nice, people. Let me just say that before I start going through comments, okay? You know, a lot of people have different opinions on this, and that's totally, you know, that is okay. You can have an opinion. Be respectful of others, though. And keep in mind that this is not anything required. There are not places so far that we know of in North Carolina that say you have to have proof of a vaccination card or have a card, have proof of your vaccine to be able to do this, and this. We do not have anything like that in place here in North Carolina. So keep that in mind. This is just an idea that a doctor in Colorado came up with, hoping to help people that did not want to carry around those cards everywhere they went. He was trying to be helpful, and it's totally up to anybody. If they want to buy it, if they don't, that's totally fine. So let's go ahead and look at the comments. Jason said that he would wear a wristband. It would be no different than a medical bracelet. I do have a friend of mine that has a certain kind of blood condition. So he has a bracelet that he wears all the time just to let people know, you know, if something were to happen, emergency responders could be able to look at it and know what his condition was. So I understand that. But Taylor said it's no one's business on what I do. Greg says, no, this is private, no one's business. Deb says no. Kathy says no. Let's see. Trish trying to decipher through some of the other ones. Kevin said, I will not pay for the wristband. Vaccination was free, so the wristband should be free also. That's a good point there. Reeb says nope. Alicia says nope. Debbie said I would wear a bracelet. At least I would know people without a mask are safe. Should be free, not necessarily have to be put on a phone. Maybe send a copy of it to your email. Somebody also, I don't know where the comment was, but I thought it was really a good idea. You know, you could just take a picture of your vaccine card and have it in your phone stored somewhere safely if you want to carry it around, or if you don't want to actually carry around the physical copy. Anyway, tons of comments. This is a huge conversation. It's a big talker, not just here in North Carolina, but across the U.S.
All right, let's move on to our headlines now before our next conversation about this heat. A bit of a heat wave, at least by May standards. We will talk about that coming up. But first, some serious news to get to this morning. The big story here, the North Carolina Sheriff's deputies who shot and killed Andrew Brown Jr. will not face criminal charges. At least not now. The district attorney said the officers or deputies' actions were justified because they were confronting a suspect who had access to a potentially deadly weapon, which the DA said was his car. The family disputes that version of events. Remember, Brown died after investigators say deputies fired at least 14 shots. The prosecutor also said he would not release full body camera video of this confrontation, but he did play portions of it during the news conference yesterday. Governor Roy Cooper responded to the district attorney's decision, writing in a statement in part, quote, federal officials should continue to thoroughly investigate the shooting of Andrew Brown Jr. He added, quote, our state should pass specific laws to increase transparency, end quote. By the way, there is a bill to release body camera footage to the public sooner, and it's being considered by the North Carolina Senate. For now, it is in a committee. Well, the summer months are approaching, and that means more bike riders out on the roadways enjoying the nice weather. Cycling is a great way to exercise, but it can also carry some dangers. WFMY News' Denise McMiller has the scoop on an event happening tonight in Greensboro that promotes bike safety.
The Ride of Silence takes place annually on the same Wednesday and same time all over the world. And folks here in Greensboro will gather outside of the old Wrangler or Contour building downtown Greensboro on Elm Street tonight. Organizers have two goals in mind: to honor cyclists seriously injured and killed on local roads and to promote safe driving habits, as well as raise awareness for drivers to share the road. Bicycling in Greensboro is hosting their 17th annual ride. Anyone can take part now that the limit on outdoor gatherings is lifted. Mark Schultz plans to take part. He nearly lost his life when a distracted driver knocked him unconscious.
And I had lights, I had helmet, all that good stuff. But the person that hit me was texting while driving. And, I was unconscious for 20 minutes and, I came to in the hospital. I missed my mom's funeral. It was, and I didn't ride for like six months. And so, it was a very traumatic event, and it took a lot to come back from.
Schultz suffered from a broken kneecap, ribs, and sternum. He wants to see separate bike lanes so cyclists can feel safe on the roadways. And if you want to support or help bring awareness to this issue, just show up here at the Contour building at 6 p.m. tonight. The 6-mile ride will start here and go throughout downtown Greensboro and the south side of the city.
Well, the gas situation, I should say, here in our state appears to be getting better, at least in some parts of the triad. Gas Buddy reports 44% of our state's gas stations are without fuel, though. That is down 2% since yesterday morning and 27% since the problem peaked. The national average for a gallon is still just more than $3. $2.99 at last check here yesterday, but Gas Buddy expects the number to come down again ahead of Memorial Day weekend. North Carolina is accepting new applications for the HOPE program. It offers emergency rent and utility assistance for people infected by the pandemic. In addition to first-time applicants, people who received rent or utility assistance funding from the first phase of the HOPE program are eligible to reapply for additional help. The program already has helped 36,000 families in our state who qualify. You can start applying right now. There is information on our website, WFMYnews2.com.
Okay, I have to credit Jason Hutchins for coming up with this first line. The comment section is about as hot as it's going to get here in the Triad this week. I mean, we are going to see plenty of sunshine, temperatures possibly hit the 90s. So how are you going to take advantage of the weather? You can go ahead and chime in on the comments. We want to lighten things up here on After GMS. So let's go ahead and take a look at what people have been saying. Kelly says she'll be using the AC. Brenda is going to the lake. That sounds like fun. But Glinda says she'll just stay inside. Yeah, let's cool off a little bit. Much different compared to the forecast, but you know, I think it's just going to be really nice to have that summer-like weather hit the Triad. With things opening up, things are getting somewhat back to normal. People are going to be able to get out and enjoy it, and so I hope that you make some fun plans. We have some friends visiting. They're fully vaccinated, so they feel comfortable traveling now, and very excited to see one of my very best friends and take her around Greensboro for the first time. So trying to think of some ideas. If you have any, send them my way. Not anything with a lot of physical activity, because obviously I'm moving a lot slower these days.
There are options abound anywhere in North Carolina for any kind of ability here. So I wrote in the comment section that I love summer but could do without the mosquitoes. And Jason said mosquitoes serve absolutely no purpose in life except keeping our hand-eye coordination intact.
You got to slap them out there.
Swat 'em.
You got to swat them out of the air. They are out already. I've already been bitten by a few mosquitoes myself. Yeah, the weather's going to be pretty nice. Definitely going to try to spend as much time outside as possible, even though we're kind of getting to the borderline where it's almost a little too warm for me when you start to get close to 90 there. But all in all, pretty nice stretch of days if you do have outdoor plans or you just want to maybe head outside with the family. There are so many state parks here in North Carolina that are shaded, so you can kind of get out of the heat a little bit if you want to go hiking or something like that. That actually is probably something I might try to do if I can find the time. What about you, Ed?
Well, given that the humidity is still going to be pretty low and the comfort level is going to be up, spending as much time outdoors as I can, because as we go through the summer, as we know, that humidity is going to be on the increase, and by then we're going to want to stay inside in the air conditioning. But taking Rio to the park a little bit more, just spending as much time outdoors, riding my bike more, and also doing some outdoor dining at some of our wonderful restaurants here in the Triad.
A lot of options, yeah, outdoor dining. We have so many different places with awesome patios here in the Triad area. It's hard to visit them all on a regular basis because there are so many wonderful places to go eat. Stacy, what are people saying? What are they going to do here during this heat stretch?
Yeah, you may, if you sit outside, you may want to find some shade. It might get a little warm, but let's see. Tamrika said going fishing after some yard work, so that'll be fun. And Nadine's family is doing a big barbecue, a Brazilian barbecue on Saturday evening. You might want to invite Turan. I know he would enjoy that. Nadine says lots of yard work. And then Debbie, some people are weighing in on the heat and humidity. Debbie says she loves the warmth, but not humidity.
All right. Well, speaking of the heat, Ed, why don't you close us out with the final forecast? Just how hot is it going to get and when?
Well, really the heat up starts today as temperatures make it around 80, maybe some low 80s. And then you can see each day how we add on a few degrees. We'll be up into the mid 80s tomorrow, around 84. Upper 80s coming up on Friday, about 87. And then over the weekend and even into early next week, we're looking at upper 80s and possibly low 90s across the area. Now, a lot of you are asking for some rain, and really we don't have it in the 7-day forecast. We'll have to see how things pan out at the end of the weekend, if this high pressure area will weaken somewhat, allowing for a few pop-up storms. But right now we're going to keep it dry as the soils around the Piedmont will really dry out over the next 7 or 8 days with all the heat.
All right, we want to thank you all for joining us here on After GMS. We appreciate it. We do this every weekday at 7:45 on the WFMY News 2 Facebook page.
Yeah, so get out there, enjoy this nice weather. We'll see you again here tomorrow. Have a great day.